Hi, this video is a little bit special because it's not related to high voltage topics. But as we know, even high voltage engineers, they need to eat and drink. So in this video, I'm gonna teach you how to make a very tasty Iranian dessert, which is named Fereni. Usually people eat it during month of Ramazan, and now it's the period. So I decided to make some for myself. I'm gonna show you how to do that. So first, let's look at the ingredients, and then I show you how to make it. Alright, so here are the ingredients. We need milk, sugar, starch. I use cornstarch. We have also rice starch, but I prefer to use cornstarch. We need rose water, saffron, cardamom, and vanilla. So I don't have vanilla, I use vanilla mixed with sugar. And then the quantity of these ingredients are listed somewhere here. I'll put them on the screen. Okay, so now let's start making this. It will take around 25 minutes to make this dessert. Okay, so first I add the milk into the pot. So the milk, I took it from the refrigerator, so it is cold. So in the next stage, I add the starch into the milk. Because the milk is cold, it can easily dissolve the starch and everything will be dissolved smoothly. If we heat the milk first and then add the starch, then the starch would agglomerate and will not dissolve properly. So this is important to consider. Okay, so now I add the starch into the milk. And I'll slowly dissolve it into the milk. Now at this stage I can turn on the stove. I set it at the mid-range, so at level 5. So it should not be too hot. Of course, it should not be also too cold. If it is too hot, then the starch will stick at the bottom of the pot, and that is not good. And during process, you have to continuously stir this pot, otherwise again the starch will stick at the bottom of the pot. So the first 15 minutes of stirring the pot, the liquid looks like water. The viscosity is very low, but gradually as you stir it, then the starch inside the milk swells a bit, so the total liquid becomes thicker and the viscosity increases, and yeah, at that stage it's more or less ready. After a few minutes from adding the starch into the milk, I can add the sugar into the mixture. Now at the same time that I stir the pot, I also want to make the saffron ready. So first I make some boiled water, and then I add saffron into a small amount of boiled water such that the color can be extracted. Alright, basically here is my glass. Then I add some saffron into it. So then I add some boiled water into this pot. And then we have to wait a few minutes such that it releases all the color. Meanwhile, we keep stirring the pot continuously. And here I show you also the stove is set at the mid level, so level 5. Okay, so now that saffron has been there for a few minutes, I add the rose water into this. So this is not enough. I take another bottle and add the rest of it. Meanwhile, I have to stir this pot continuously. Otherwise, as you can see, starch would agglomerate. I can also add my vanilla. So here, sugar vanilla I have, 1 pack. It's around 8 grams, which I added now into the pot. Gradually the thickness of the liquid increases, as we can see. And at the final stage, based on the thickness we have, then we decide to stop stirring and to turn off the stove. As you can see, now the liquid is thickened a lot, so I add saffron and rose water into the liquid. And here we have some saffron left. It's expensive, so you're gonna take everything into your pot and keep stirring the pot. So I scratch the bottom of the pot such that all the starch that sticks to the bottom of the pot can be dissolved again into the liquid. So to give it a bit more flavor, I crush some cardamom and add them into the pot. Must be very careful not to damage your desk. Alright, so now I add my cardamom into the pot, and basically this is almost the last stage of the preparation. And then you stir it for another minute or two, and then your dessert is ready. So as you can see, at this stage the liquid is really thick, so you want to get to this point, and then you turn off your stove. So you can wait for a few minutes so that it cools down a bit, and then you can serve it for yourself and taste it. So after you serve it, you will have something like this, and your main pot is there. Alright, so now my Fereni is ready. I'm going to try it and tell you how does it taste. This tastes extremely good. It's a bit hot yet, but I couldn't resist to wait more. I suggest you to make this right away if you have the ingredients available. Actually, this tastes far better than what my mother cooked for us when I was in Iran. Maybe my recipe is better than what she had. Or maybe a high voltage engineer is perfect in everything. I think this is the truth. Okay, so enough. I really suggest you to make this dessert. It's perfect, especially if you are a bit tired and weak. Then when you eat this one, you feel very good. All right, bye.